Hello everyone, welcome to Horror Mystery Rewind. As we have discussed in the previous recap of Movie X, today we will talk about its prequel movie Pearl, which was released in 2022. Please click on the closed caption for subtitles. Spoilers ahead. Enjoy and take care of yourself. The movie starts at a farmhouse when the Spanish flu pandemic was at its worst in 1918 and most Americans were isolated in their homes. The film's protagonist Pearl, a carefree young lady, is seen practicing her dance moves at home. Pearl's mother criticizes her and tells her that she will be punished for her actions since she doesn't like the way Pearl dances. Pearl's mother also requests that Pearl stop wearing her mother's gowns so she may focus on housework and caring for Pearl's elderly father. She assigns Pearl to take care of the barn's duties and feed the animals. She tells her cow Charlie that she will eventually leave the house since she is unique and does not belong in the barn. She desires fame and the chance to perform in front of people. Out of frustration, she then mercilessly kills a duck and feeds it to an alligator that Pearl considers to be her pet and resides in a surrounding lake. As Pearl and her mother cook dinner that evening, Pearl is requested to bring her bedridden father to the dining room table. At the dinner table, Pearl begins to eat first, but her mother demands that Pearl's father be served first. After supper, Pearl heads to her bedroom and reread the letters her husband wrote while he was abroad in Germany fighting in the First World War. The following day, she departs for the city with the money her mother gave her in order to buy medications for her father. Instead of going home right away after getting the medication, she watches a movie at a neighboring theater. After the film ended, she stood in an alley near the theater and read the brochures that had been distributed there. She interacts with the projectionist after seeing him. She also expresses her desire to dance to him. The projectionist tried to provide a free show exclusively to Pearl. However, Pearl graciously declines the invitation since she wants to go back home. He presents Pearl with a movie picture frame, and she departs for her house. On the way back to home, the gifted picture frame flies off from Pearl's pocket and gets into a cornfield. There she sees a scarecrow with a hat. Pearl wears that hat and returns home. Her mother scolds Pearl for bringing back a hat home during the pandemic as it could contain germs. She wants Pearl to leave the hat outside and clean her. That night at the dinner table, Pearl's mother asks about the remaining money after spending to get the medicines. Pearl lies to her mother that she bought candy for that. Pearl's mother orders her to leave the dinner table without finishing her meal since she had already consumed candy. Out of resentment for Pearl's careless behavior throughout the difficult times, Pearl's mother also counsels Pearl to be more responsible and cautious because things have changed, and they are now solely responsible for surviving and getting by. Pearl walks away from the table in disagreement because she won't accept the truth. In her bedroom, she prays to the Lord to make her the biggest star in the world. The next morning, Pearl and her mom are visited by Pearl's mother-in-law and sister-in-law Mitzi. Pearl's mother-in-law offers a cooked pig to Pearl's mom as they are facing hard times, but Pearl's mom refuses to take that, scared of germs in it. Mitzi separately informs Pearl about a dance audition that's going to happen in a nearby church on that Saturday. They both conspire to attend the audition together without both of their moms knowing. Unhappy about Pearl's mom not accepting the pig, Mitzi's mom leaves the pig with the tray on the porch and they both leave. Pearl then secretly goes into her mom's room to steal one of her dresses to wear for the audition. After making sure her mom is not around, she then wears that dress and leaves to the theater at night to visit the projectionist as he earlier gave confidence for her ideas. In the theater, the projectionist shows Pearl the projection room and the place where he is staying. He also offers to screen a special movie for Pearl. Pearl then discusses with him about leaving her house to go to a far place and become a star. The projectionist encourages her to leave for New York City as it's full of opportunities. He further mentions to her that he is planning to go to Europe once the pandemic is over to improve his future in the movies. Pearl receives his thought well and returns home. Upon returning home, Pearl sees her mom sobbing in her bed and silently moves to Pearl's bedroom. In the morning, she becomes more determined about leaving the house and attending the audition at any cost. Picks up her father in his wheelchair and takes him to the lake. Deciding to push father into the lake to feed the alligator, she calls upon the alligator. As her father had sensed this, and not able to help himself, the father simply watched her in silence, scared. Pearl tells her father that she doesn't like living there and also doesn't like what her father's going through. When the alligator comes near, Pearl's mom, who was already suspicious about Pearl's actions, comes and gets her husband and leaves the lake. Pearl, while getting back to home, sees lots of eggs were laid by the alligator. She picks up one of the eggs and gets it to the barn. Getting frustrated with her husband Howard for leaving her in this situation, she visualizes her husband to be blasted off, simulating it by breaking the alligator's egg. During dinner, Pearl tells her mom she wants to attend the dance audition. Even after numerous conversations with Pearl, Pearl's mother snaps at her and angrily declines her request to attend the audition out of frustration at Pearl's carelessness. Pearl even makes a commitment that she won't bring up the audition again if she isn't hired. Pearl's mother curses that Pearl will not pass the audition and will be in the same situation for the rest of her days. Pearl's mother asserts that she is aware of Pearl's previous activities, including her attempt to kill her father, as the conversation gradually becomes heated. She gives Pearl a dagger to kill her father so that she might live freely and attend the audition. Pearl responds to her mom that she doesn't want to end up like her mom. They both get into a nasty fight and Pearl accidentally emulates her mother. Badly injured by the fire, Pearl's mom falls to the ground. Not feeling sorry for her mother, Pearl pulls her mother to the basement and locks her up. Then she has a nightmare where she performs on a stage which was watched by her husband, her father and her scarred mother. She wakes up in the projectionist room and he offers to get Pearl to her home in his car. When they reach home, Pearl gets into the home first to clean up her messes. Then she calls the projectionist inside and introduces her father to him. The projectionist gets suspicious about Pearl's behavior and goes in search around the house, but Pearl manages to convince him that her dog made all the messes and gets him to the barn and introduces all her farm animals. Then the projectionist asks her dog's name, forgetting about what she previously said about the dog. Pearl says they don't have a dog. The projectionist grows more suspicious about Pearl and wants to leave, saying that he had to return to the theater. Also hiding his feelings, he encourages her to practice well for her audition. Unhappy about this development, Pearl becomes angry at him and starts to threaten him. She asks him why he is leaving suddenly. The projectionist admits that the activities of Pearl scares him and he starts to leave the place in his car. The more enraged Pearl becomes, she picks up a fork shovel and stabs the man in the chest. She then drags him out of the vehicle and kills him with another stabbing before killing her critically injured mother. Pearl's father becomes extremely terrified of Pearl as a result of what is going on around him. However, Pearl doesn't respond to him in any way. All she does is clean him up as usual. She then gets ready for the audition and suffocates her father to death before pushing the projectionist's car into the lake. She then calls for the alligator and leaves for the audition. In the church where the audition is happening, she meets up with Midgie, who is already waiting in the queue. Midgie feels scared about getting rejected in the audition, whereas Pearl feels confident about getting selected, so Midgie switches her place with Pearl, allowing Pearl to audition first. Pearl then performs a dance number in front of the judges. Even though she performs to her satisfaction, that does not convince the judges, so they reject her. She pleads to the judges that it was the best dancing she had ever done, but the judges tell her that she is not special, and they already have lots of girls like her. Not able to accept the rejection like her mother said, she makes a scene inside the audition hall only to be pushed outside. Mitty sees Pearl crying badly after the audition, offers Pearl to take her back to her home. While entering the house, Midgie sees that the pig that her mother gave is still on the porch and in a rotten state. Pearl then confesses to Midgie that she wants to go to Europe and doesn't want to live on the farm anymore. Pearl then opens up to Midgie that something is not normal with her, and something is missing in her the rest of the world has. To console Pearl, Midgie asks Pearl to imagine Midgie as her husband Howard and confess everything. Pearl then tells Midgie about all her misdeeds, starting with her hate towards Howard. How badly she wanted to leave the farm and become a star, and the horrible thing she had done to the family. Sensing danger, Midgie starts to leave. Pearl suspects something is wrong with Midgie and starts to argue with her the same way she did with the projectionist. Pearl also starts to scare Midgie as Midgie continues to leave. Pearl picks up an axe and chases Midgie, as that was a lonely farm. Nobody comes for help to Midgie screams. Pearl continues to attack Midgie with the axe and kills her. Made up with her mind that she is going to spend the rest of her life on the farm, she wants to make things right. She cleans up her messes and feeds the remains of Midgie to the alligator. Disappointed about her life, Pearl becomes mentally disturbed and gets her now dead father and mother to the dining table and have the rotten pig as dinner. Unexpectedly, Howard returns home happily back from war only to see the mentally ill Pearl and the unnatural circumstances of the home. The movie ends with Pearl being happy and sad at the same time after seeing Howard.
If you like the video, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and click on like to help the channel out. Thank you and take care.